Hello everybody. So today is day 1 of the challenge for crystal healing with the witch's wound. This is going to be a really fun challenge because it is going to kind of span across a few different things. Crystals can be very, very helpful for lots of different things. So I'm really excited to be able to share that kind of stuff with you guys. Today we're just going to kind of go over really the basic ways as to how to work with your crystals for the work that we're doing. So before I jump in and get started with all of that, I do want to just make a few announcements. But as you're hopping on, please do say hi. If you're watching the replay, say replay so that I can say hi to you later on. And let's be real, it also helps with the algorithm to keep it bumped up so people can see it and so they don't miss out on information. I know a lot of people were really excited about this challenge, and unfortunately with the algorithm, the videos don't come up very quickly into people's feeds and things like that. So we work with what we have, right? If you're saying hi, I'm not seeing any comments, so we might be flying with that. That might be another issue that's happening with Facebook. Yay, never mind. Hi, Samantha. Yay. I was like, great, because I'm seeing all these numbers tick up, and then I'm like, no comments. Awesome. Here we go again. So super excited. While I let people hop on and see that I'm here. Hi. I'm going to just run through a few little housekeeping things. It's just an easy time to do that while I wait for people to hop on. That you guys are going to see starting June 1st, there will be some adjustments. The Witch's Wound workshop is going to bump back up in price a little bit, not quite to where it was after I reduced it again, but it is going to go up to $333. And so if you're wanting to do the Witch's Wound workshop, I would highly recommend to hop on before the end of the month to save a little bit extra money. I also have a code that's kind of floating around out there for $50 off of the workshop. If you've gotten that code, that it's not going to be available after June. So you want to make sure to go ahead and utilize those when you can, since it's going to go away. So just want to make sure everyone knows about that. So we have that. The Reiki healing for the Witch's Wound, I have that in my hands, but I have not gotten to convert it. Hi, Susie. Over into a usable document to put in there, but that will be coming probably in June for everyone who's inside the Witch's Wound workshop. And my cat Raziel wants to help us with our healing work today, as he usually does. So that's for that. And then awesome things too for those who are part of the Alchemy Alliance. If you don't know what the Alchemy Alliance is, it's the monthly membership option. Super, super affordable, $35 a month. Inside that you get the new moon activation. So that's a channeled light language specifically. There's the new moon specifically channeled manifestation practice that goes along with that. So you'll have access to both of those. You have special access to some really amazing discounts. One of our members has crystal skulls, this huge, beautiful shop on Etsy full of crystal skulls, and she's given us like a discount on all of those for people that are inside the Alchemy Alliance. There's readings for like natal chart. One-on-one coaching with me is discounted. So lots of really cool stuff with that. And then for those that want to do the full moon release, that's part of it. It's included. Any classes that I offer, that's part of it. If you're a member of the Alchemy Alliance, you get those included in that. And then I'm going to start doing monthly classes as well inside there. So ones that are going to help with creating, building, growing our magic. And I meant to write down, and I don't even remember what the one is for June, but it's exciting. I know that. I don't remember what it is, but it's really cool. I've been downloading a lot of stuff, probably from my Herkimer Diamond and Moldavite pendant. That's been intense. The dreams, lots and lots of downloads. My second book, I'm releasing it for pre-sale in June, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to do a really fun contest with that as well, so that'll be good. And then one more thing with the Alchemy Alliance, for those who are in there, I'm also going to start doing it where it kind of rewards those who have been in for a long time. And what I've gotten and downloaded is magic is coming back. So I feel like a lot of us have kind of felt this draw and this pull that like magic is real. It's out there. Hi, Laura. It's out there. It's meant to be utilized. It's meant for us to be able to place our hands on a branch in a tree and actually heal it. Like, that's real. There's a reason that we believe in it. There's a reason that we feel that that should be possible. But what has happened is it's been suppressed so heavily that we don't have access to it right now. So one of the things that I've been shown are actually some of the techniques to help bring the magic back, for us to start practicing it so that we can start waking it back up. And the more of us that start doing this, the faster it's going to wake up. This is a part of the Age of Alchemy that's coming when Sedna moves into Gemini, and out of the age where it's the Witch's Moon era. We're moving into the magical age where we no longer will need to use our earth magic, where we will have to pull in that way with our herbs and our ingredients like that with the earth magic, because we are going to help increase the resonance of the planet so much that her force field is going to expand over us. So instead of needing to use ingredients from her, we're actually going to channel the energy ourselves again. So that's where that magic comes from. So it's like that witchy part of us that knows where we need those ingredients. We know we need that kind of stuff. That's going to become old knowledge, and we're going to be able to finally step forward into that time where we can start working harmoniously again with the planet and utilize and wield that magic in such a way where we don't need to use those ingredients where they're pulling from her, where we can actually just channel it ourselves independently. It's really, really cool. I've got to tell you, the last few days, the intense amount of information that I've been receiving has been a bit overwhelming, especially with all the alignments. We aligned with the Pleiades. That was very intense. The dream I had with Michael, super intense. So lots and lots of stuff going on, but it's really good stuff that's happening. And I'm excited that we can start kind of using our crystals, which is the earth magic, to start helping to open up this gateway. That's actually part of what we're doing with the full moon release on Wednesday, where I'm going to do the guided meditation through that breathing technique, where we're going to activate our sacral with our heart chakra, work on connecting that. As we do that releasing breath work, there will be that guided meditation to actually help to connect with the resonance of the planet and to help her surge and open it up more. It's really, really going to be very, very special, especially being done under the eclipse energy. It's going to be super intense. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm excited for whoever wants to join us live for that. And if you are part of the Alchemy Alliance, you will be able to access the replay. Unfortunately, that's the only way that the replay would be accessible though. All right, cool. So crystals, here we are. One of the things that we're going to just talk about today are the different ways that we can utilize our crystals for the work that we're doing, the healing work that we're doing. And I just remembered another one, so I'm writing it down so I don't forget. So for those of you that are inside the Witch's Moon workshop, you have access to the crystal, it's like PDF, it's a workbook. There's 25 crystals in there that are Witch's Moon crystals. Perfect ones to work with for the healing work that we're doing. And then we have the Master Crystal, which is for the Witch's Moon work. The Master Crystal for the Witch's Moon is the Smoky Quartz. Okay, so that's a big one. You've seen that I wear that a lot too. I have my Smoky Quartz Moon that I wear a lot. I was called to pull out my Herkimer Diamond with the Moldavite because there have been so many downloads coming. I needed to be activated in that way, even though it is really intense, and I'm probably going to take it off in a day or two because it's a lot. But one of the things I'm going to show you today has helped a lot with that as well. So as we go through, we're going to talk about the different kinds of, the word that comes to me is modalities that we can utilize with crystal work. And that's going to help with our healing, and it's really going to be what we're called to. So I want to ask, for those of you that are live and those of you that watch the replay, I would love to know what crystals that you're drawn to, what ones you're kind of independently already kind of feel that pull towards, love working with, love connecting with, that just have a special meaning to you. I would love to know what type of crystals those are, and even if you can, I would love to see pictures on the thread if you want to share those, almost like your pets, right? We get so bonded with these, they have their own consciousness, so these entities that we feel very close to them. So I would love to see pictures, and I would love to know what kind of crystal that you guys love to work with the most. I'm curious what ones are on the list, if you already are drawn to those. All right, so first thing I'll talk about that we can do to work with our crystals are crystal grids. Okay, so crystal grids, I feel like this is something that's pretty well known. You can create grids even using like bigger crystals. You can lay them out in a certain way if you would like to, or you can utilize them in the way where I had done the sale last week for the artwork, where you can hang it and look at it when you meditate. I'll pull one out as an example for that because it's important for what I'm talking about, especially for those of you who've got a crystal grid. So this is one of the ones, this is what I call the Wheel of Fortune. This is one of the ones that I was offering discounted last week when I did the sale. But when you look at this, you can see that there's a center. My cat found his toy. Right there in the center, there's something to stare at. And then as we look at the periphery of it, you're going to notice that it really draws you in, right? So whenever we make a crystal grid, if you want to make your own, or if there's one that you want to work with specifically, sorry, just putting that back. There's usually like a center point of it at some level, somewhere in it. There's some that are right in the center. There's some that are in a different space, but there's usually going to be a focus point of it where the energy converges. Okay. So this energy point is what we can use for charging our tools. I actually really like to charge my anointing oil. So I use a CBD type of oil blend that I actually infuse more with different herbs. One of them is blue lotus. That's actually something that is from ancient Egypt, and it's known to help improve and increase our clairvoyance, are all the clairs really. It helps to improve the connection with the divine. I really apply that before I go to bed at night, before I meditate. It helps me when I receive messages. It also helps me to have dreams that are very significant and powerful. So that's something that I utilize the grids for as well, is you can place your item in the center. Even if it's a bigger crystal that you work with, a crystal skull, really any kind of healing tool or anything that you really like to utilize. I see Laura said amethyst, April said obsidian. Yeah, both of those are on the list. Obsidian is really cool. The thing that I was shown to do with that for protection was really interesting. That's in the crystal guide. And I think I made that one available separately too. So if you guys just want to purchase that one independently, if you're not feeling drawn to do the workshop, or maybe it's not accessible, though there is the payment plan option too. So anyway, so the crystal grid, that's going to be utilized to either help to charge or help to awaken your third eye and your clairs. Okay, I call them clairs because it's just easier to say that instead of like clairsentient, clairvoyant, you know, all of that. So you're going to open up your clairs, you're going to open up your third eye if you're going to use it for viewing. Okay, but the artwork is easier because it's up. and we're keeping our spine straight. It's harder when we're looking down at something for that, because the energy flow is going to impede it, because we are pinching the spine, and that's going to have an effect on that, because we want the energy to be able to flow through our spine appropriately through all of our chakra points. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I've been called to do the artwork, but you can also make your own. I'm not, you know, like, it just takes glue. I'll even show you, trade secret, this stuff is amazing for it. And that took trial and error. So if you want to make your own grid that you're going to hold up and have up, you can do that as well. Okay, does anyone have questions on grids? What to do with grids, how to utilize them, if you want to make your own? Do you have questions for me on that before I move over to the next modality for our crystals? I know that there's a delay. So I feel awkward because I'm like, okay, I'm just sitting here waiting. Okay, I don't see any popping up. Perfect. So the next thing that we are going to use our crystals for, that's really kind of cool. I love going back to like the really ancient feel to this. Is going to be the gazing. Okay, so one of the things that's super, super important when we find a crystal to gaze in, there needs to be something that has like iridescence to it, some kind of a light reflective property. So I got a few of my like favorites. This is Black Moonstone. You can see like the iridescent flecks in there. You can already feel like it's captivating, right? And this will take you to a different world. So moonstones are really good. Labradorite. Trying to do it without the light outside. But you see like things that have the flash in them. I love this one because it like has an angel or a being in it. But anything that has some type of flash, one of the best ways to utilize that, this bad boy, I've been sleeping with it. It's really interesting too. I had a vision come to me about a sphere that looked like it had crystals inside it. I was like, well, how in the world am I going to find something like that? And I was very, very called to get a selenite sphere. And then one just kind of popped up randomly. And I was like, all right, I'm going to order this one. And when it came... Oh, I don't think you can see it here. It looked like, I'll have to show a picture because the light's reflecting too much. It looked like it had crystals inside it. And I was like, oh, well, there she is. But do you see how it like reflects light? So it's that behavior. What is that? What is that word? Not behavior, but property. That property of them that's going to help with opening the third eye so that you can get visions. One of the things, like even with this, you can hold it and like gaze in, and it will help to kind of open your third eye. It will help to bring visions. Or you can even do, one of my favorite things is the candlelight gazing. That's something I love to do with my grids. Where you have a candle and it's that flickering of the light that allows you to be able to hold still, because the light refracts naturally in that way from the flame, and it's flickering off of the different parts that are illuminated inside the stone. That activation is actually helping to activate your third eye. So when that happens, you can just spend your time. That's a really, really good way to meditate. If it's hard for you to do it normally, where your eyes are closed and you're trying to quiet your mind, if that's challenging for you, do open eye meditation, 10 minutes, set a timer, choose either a grid, find a flashy crystal, a moonstone, labradorite, which they're in the same family, a selenite, especially the spheres like that. That's going to help to make the meditation easier for you because it's more active and you can help to relax your mind. And it's really, really helpful and powerful to start waking up your third eye. Okay. Meditating, that's a type of meditation, is doing the open eye gazing. That is a type of meditation, but we can also utilize the crystals to help us with our meditation, especially if we're doing like a projection meditation, like in the sacred manifesting practice, which is like the freebie I give away on my website. If you don't have that, you can just go to the website, it'll pop up and you can put your email in and I'll send it right to you. But that's also really, really helpful, so you can kind of imbue the crystal with that intention, and it can help hold that intention for you during times that you're struggling to keep your vibration on a level that's going to help to manifest something on your behalf. They also are just like, it's something to think about it. Who has trouble meditating? I would love to hear. Like, do you find meditation challenging? Do you not do it as often as you know that you should because you find it to be challenging and not super enjoyable? Me, I slack off on it sometimes. But one of the things too is even being able to just hold it and like work with it and feel the energy connecting with you while you quiet your mind. That's very helpful. For me personally, when I meditate, I cannot quiet my mind because I immediately go into seeing visions. So it's not really a thing for me. Laura, I know, right? For me to be like, I'm just going to quiet my mind for 10 to 15 minutes. It's just not possible because my mind is a portal. I get messages a lot. I get them when I'm talking to people for that person. I get them when I do the intuitive tarot readings. I do them when I'm pulling cards. I do them, like, I get messages pretty much almost constantly through my dreams when I'm asking, especially through meditation. What I'm shown in my mind is very interesting, and it never happens. So it's always going to happen. Yeah, Susie, that's I can't clear my mind. It just doesn't, because there's always information that's trying to come through. When it comes to the idea of what, like, our thoughts, that's something where I use the clear, like, shut down the app, where in my mind I'm like, okay, this thought is not helpful. So then I do like the swipe up and I'm like, delete, get rid of it, close it out. It's not helping me. So I kind of envision that, and then I try to go back to the peacefulness. I usually do it when all the kiddos are in bed. Yeah, you have to. It's impossible. My pets don't like me to do it either. It's difficult to do. Yeah, Laura, I mean, it's impossible with children. I hear you. I have a daughter. So it's a lot. But that can help you, because think about it, it's like taking a part of your attention to something else, especially if you have one that you want to stroke or you want to like kind of rub and connect with while you're meditating, because it's taking a part of your brain that's needing like attention or activity, and it's giving it that, while it's also allowing the crystal to connect with you. So it's like a win-win. It allows the brain to kind of disconnect, and it allows you to connect into source. So the crystals are super helpful for that. Simply holding crystals, moving on to the next thing, or placing them on the body. That's something I utilize when I have like my ascension headaches, when I'm getting massive downloads. I like to use amethyst on my third eye, on my forehead, hold or sleep with the selenite to help kind of clear out any of the extra, I say, debris. It's like energetic debris that comes in that gets kind of caught up in our energy field, especially when we think about it. When we are up leveling and getting downloads, getting activations, we're getting DNA activations, our auric field, our light body, it begins to like expand and grow. So one of the things with that, the expansion, we're going into a new field of experience that our energetic field hasn't touched yet. So there's more debris there. So if you think about it, like, we've already cleared out the space that we're already inhabiting, okay? And then as the field expands and as it grows, we're going to encounter more dense, low vibrational energy that we have to kind of assimilate or break through. I've said this before, but think about like an earthquake or like a sifter at the beach. As we sift, it kind of allows what we don't want to come through, and we're kept with the treasure, right, on the top, like cream with the milk rises to the top even after you shake it. So that's what's happening with this. When we have this download, the energy expands, and then I'm envisioning it. That's why my eyes are closing, because the energy that we've now encountered, we can feel it. We're like, oh, this feels so heavy. It feels, that's a lot of reasons too why when we're going through this process of the awakening, and every time we expand, every time we up level, we feel depression. We feel this sense of foreboding, where it's like it's useless, it's pointless, it's overwhelming, because we're interacting with this new, like, dense, super heavy energy. I remember Friday when I had the dream that I shared in here about Michael. That was a day that I was up leveling and taking in a lot of new information, and it was a very difficult day. I'm not a depressed person at all, but I could definitely feel the heaviness of the environment. And I was actually talking to my dog about it, because he was just laying there looking at me like, I wish I could help you. I don't know what to do for you. And I was just telling him like how much, especially now as things are up leveling and as we're developing, that I could feel the magic, but I can't touch it. I can't actually like connect with it and use it in the way that I know I should be able to use it. Can anyone relate to that? It's like, you know that you should be able to do this and see the energy. You know that you should be able to lay your hand on something. It's like a knowing in your spirit where it's like, this should work. Why isn't it working? And it's working. It's not working because the environment that we are in does not, it doesn't support that energy. And in order for it to do so, we have to raise the vibration of it so that it can. And it was heavy for me on Friday, because I'm like, I can feel the magic, but I still can't use it. I can't tap into it in a way. And I felt very disconnected, and it was very sad. It was heavy. It was very, very heavy for me. So that was something that was shown is how we do this expanding. I'm sorry, I know I've gone off topic, but this is coming through and I feel like it's important. But as we do this expanding, we are going to interact with these other fields. So here we go, bringing it back. Having something like the selenite does help to kind of navigate us through the debris of that, and helps kind of soothe our energy as we're going through it. So selenite, for those that haven't seen the video, you can find it here in the group about the aura scrubbing. Super, super simple thing to do. Sleeping with selenite, keeping it on you, it is going to help clear out that kind of stuff and that energetic debris. So definitely a helpful one. It's all in the list too. Crystals can be used for chakras, okay? One of the really cool things, I was talking to Shannon, who's the astrologer that did the, she's done the Witch's Wound Oracle. We worked together on that, where she can help people dive much deeper into their natal chart to learn more about their witch's wound and what they need to do for that as they're here. And I was talking to her about how I felt led to start understanding our natal charts and our placements. So for those that are keeping up and have seen it, Saturn is, I think, retrograde now. Yes, it went retrograde yesterday, the 23rd. That was heavy too. Who else felt that? Woo! That was intense. But through that retrograde, I was looking more at my own chart and figuring out how that's going to impact me and where that's going to affect me. And one of the things with Saturn is about a restriction, and the placement of my Saturn is a place where I don't want restriction. So I asked her, I said, you know, I'm feeling guided to figure out how to heal the placements. And it's so funny how connected we are in this way. She was like, you know, I've actually already been working on that. And I was like, of course you have, because that's how this is like happened, where I come to her and I'm like, I need help with this. She's like, I'm already on it. Hence why the character in my books, she was kind of inspired through Shannon, because that's how Shannon is. So it's just super interesting, as you're saying that it connects with the chakras. So I'm learning what chakras I need to continue to do work on, because clearly they are still not functioning at the level that they should be. So chakra work with the crystals, really finding ones that connect with the color. So for those that don't know, it's easy to Google them, but clear or white for the crown. What is it? Purple, blue, green, it's the rainbow. Yellow, sacral is orange, root is red. So finding crystals that work along with those chakra points, that's going to help you with those chakras. There's lots and lots of ways that you can also work with them, even just wearing them or setting them on that location, breathing into that area. Lots of stuff with that. So that can be used for chakra work. And then we can also just wear them. Like I said, this is the Herkimer diamond with moldavite on it. This is like some kind of wild antenna. I loved it. I was very drawn to it because it looks like an eye. Because I knew that it was going to help to activate my third eye and to help even more with visions and downloads and things like that, which it has not disappointed at all. The amount of information that I have downloaded. I'm glad that I didn't experience this like a year or two ago, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it. But now I've leveled up enough where it was like, okay, this is overwhelming, but I can handle this. I've got this. So lots of information that came through, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys in June as to what is coming and what's happening. And it's so fascinating to me that I've already been told about this and known about it for like a year now, but I didn't understand what it was. So now it's all starting to make sense, and that's really, really cool. So those are the basics on the ways that we can work with our crystals, okay? So that's just kind of throwing it out there with a little extra added in, because of course I get stuff as I talk and I have to share it with you guys as I go through that. Does anyone have any questions specifically on how to use crystals, what they can be used for? And I guess one of the obvious things too is they just look pretty too. So you can just use them as decoration. They're high vibrational. They can help keep the energy in the house nice, and keep lower vibrational entities from being able to enter the space. It's like when we think about it, if you have something that exists on one plane of vibration, something that exists on a different plane, like they just can't coexist. So if you have an environment that's high vibrational and a low vibrational entity or energy, it just can't, they can't coexist together on the same plane. So that's why having crystals around us, elevating our own vibration with healthy foods, exercise, organic foods, root vegetables, things that are connected to the earth, lots and lots of plants, things that are higher vibrational, that's going to help keep lower vibrational entities from being able to affect us or affect the cells in our bodies. So that's why also wearing crystals. And it is cool. I feel like I'm rambling now. But there actually have been studies that show that people who wear gemstones are healthier because the vibration. I wish I could find one. If someone ever comes across one of those. I know I've seen it. I think it might have been something I watched on Gaia. And they had done some research. Anyway, Any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go, and then we'll plan for tomorrow. How often do I have to clean or recharge? That's one of the... There's lots of opinions on this. When it comes to using our crystals, one of the really cool things about selenite, my beautiful, I'm so obsessed with this thing. It feels like I can feel the angelic energy on it. I love it. Selenite helps to clear crystals. I keep selenite around my crystals. It's like a lot. I have a charging, like a moon-shaped dish. I have just a plain slat. I have this orb that I'm super terrified I'm going to break. So I would really say after every use, do something to clear them. There's lots of different ways that you can clear them. You can use sage or smudge them with sage or Palo Santo. To me, that's a lot. You can envision them being cleansed. You can actually speak it over them. So it's not something that has to be super complicated. Personally, too, this is where I have kind of moved out of the energy of the earth magic, and I'm trying to focus more on the alchemy that's coming. Because even with like the moon, I am very aware that I don't have to put my crystals out in the moonlight, because the moon has its own vibration when it's that intense, and the crystals are just going to get the benefit. They don't have to be directly exposed, and that might be like people being like blasphemy, but they're going to get the energy of it. It's the same thing when it's cloudy, that you can still put your crystals out and they're still going to get it, because it's the vibration of the moon, not so much the actual moonlight. For the water, that's different, because the water is going to absorb the light. It's like the refraction when you make a rainbow, so the water is different, but for the crystals, it's the intense energy. So I would say every time after you use it to do something, but it doesn't have to be something like super, super complex in order to clear them. Crystals are very high vibrational, and they're actually, this is terrible. This is what just came in through for this. Sounds inappropriate, but crystals, it's kind of like our vagina. It cleans itself. You know, we kind of need to just leave it alone. That's kind of what I got right now, actually. We can do things to support it and help and kind of just, you know, put our intention in, put it around the selenite, but there's really not something that we have to do that's like incredibly like ornate to clean them. I'm sorry. I'm in a rambly mode today, apparently. Any other questions? I know some of the things, like, I'm a little unorthodox because the level of work that I do, it's not in the typical, like, lower dimensional earth magic. I am here in the alchemical energy, so it's different. Any other questions? There's like the bug guys here. Anything else? I'm sorry. It's funny. That's the stuff that comes through for me. It's like crystals are like your vagina. They kind of clean themselves. It's one thing, like, say you're someone who's like a massage therapist and wear crystals all day to help protect against someone else's energy. Yes. That's when you're going to want to, like, get home, take it off, put it with some selenite, like, let it distribute and disperse. But if it's something that you're working with your own energy, unless it's used for healing, that's different too. But for meditation, or just to, like, love on it, that's different. But if it's like healing work, we have to allow that energy to be moved. A really good way too is what I was just shown is I actually bury it for a little while. Don't lose it, but to allow the earth to take that energy off of it and transmute it. Any other questions? I have a strange man walking around outside, probably thinking I'm a lunatic, which, you know, it's cool. Perfect. All All right, awesome. So tomorrow, we're going to go over a few different crystals that we can specifically utilize and work with for certain things. I know I'm being kind of, what is that word even? Cryptic. There we go. I mean cryptic, but I honestly don't know what they're going to show us when we do it. So I just have to be an open portal, which is what happens all the time. So yay, we're going to do some great stuff with some more crystals tomorrow. Later on this week, I'm going to do a third eye opening as well using the crystals, and we're going to do it together. So that'll be really fun. I know a lot of people wanted that. All right, so any other questions, you can comment them after I hop off, and I will come through and answer them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.